Hi there, my name is Patrick Green. I am the Chief Infrastructure and Security Architect here at Arietis Health. Arietis Health, of course, is a healthcare revenue cycle management company specializing in anesthesia, emergency, and a few other particular healthcare areas for billing purposes. Our services range from time-based reviews of existing billing practices, improvement of internal processes for any given medical practice, or the complete billing package where we, handle the entire process for our clients. Well, to be honest, we didn't have much of anything before Insentra. That's because of, we started in May of 2020, and we first contracted, with Choice Solutions, which is the company that put us in contact with Insentra. And Insentra has been instrumental with building our environment, getting it built out, getting it secured, getting it configured, and generally just making the environment what it is today. It's by, Insentra's skill and expertise that we've gotten as far as we have in as shortest time frame as possible. Insentra has provided us with a number of different services, ranging from building out our Azure tenant and it's all of its various different components and services, ranging from obviously the basics of the infrastructure as a service, with either the virtual machines and such, but also with the more platform as a service like the Azure Files and Azure SQL services and everything else. I know they've, all the Insentra engineers that we've worked with over the years have been tremendously helpful in getting those services up and running as quickly as possible. Beyond that, we've also engaged with you to help us build and maintain our Citrix environment, build and maintain our Microsoft 365 environment. We've had engagements with, engineers who had skill sets that no one within our internal IT department had at the time, for the likes of Linux administration or, security hardening engagements, or a number of others that I, escaped the mind because there's just been so much work that we've done together. The Insentra team has been very, very engaged the entire time. We've had, like any company has, we've had outages, we've had issues, we've had things that we've done to ourselves, we've had things that others, that were causing other problems, whether it be a Microsoft outage or what have you. Even beyond the responsive break fix type solutions, Insentra has also been very well engaged on top of, just helping us get things built out. We've worked together very, very well because of that. I never have to chase anyone down at Insentra. We've always had very good, account management who's, kept on top of the engineers. We've had very good engineers that didn't really need to be kept on top of in the first place. It's been very good overall. Yeah, that one's a little bit harder to answer because we've been working together for the entire time the company's been around. It's kind of hard to measure the benefits when it's just always been that way, right? That said, you guys have provided a great number of services to us over the years. Ranging from, we've already iterated on, the reactive services and proactive things of getting things built out. Other proactive services around, monitoring our environment. 24/7 way. We've had different health checks done of our Azure environment, of our Citrix environment. Additional monitoring components or thresholds or what have you. There's been a fair bit of evolution to what we worked through and worked on over the years. So I don't know how to quantify how better it has been with Insentra because we've always just been working together the entire time, Yeah, I think our biggest success story definitely had to have been some of the, well, really all of the early engagements. We like I said, we were founded in May of 2020. Height of the pandemic going on globally. Everyone's working from home. No one's in an office. How do we build a company that works and functions and everything else? How do we build it out so that we can do what we need to do? And Insentra stepped up to the plate and said, okay, here's how we do it. You've already chosen you want to work in Azure and Microsoft platforms. You want to work with Citrix, great. And then you guys just took that and said, all right, if we're going to do it, let's do it right. Here's what we need to do. Domain controllers, certificate services, your own internal PKI. Let's get this built out. All right, great. Here's, how we're going to do file services. Here's how we're going to do SQL for your databases for your main app. Here's the servers you need for the main app. Here's, all the various different pieces all come together. Great. Now we've got it all built out. Let's secure it appropriately. You're already on Microsoft. Let's go full Defender. All right, great. Here's the right Microsoft licensing. Here's, the right configuration piece. Let's get everything installed and turned on and deployed. Great. Let's get it all integrated. Great. One thing right after the other, moving through all of it. And it's been a wild ride going through all of that, but there was never a point of, okay, how do we do this? How do we do that? And there's never been crickets to that answer. There's always been, all right, here's how you do it. Okay, so this is a new requirement. Okay, here's how we do it. And you guys have evolved with us to meet our needs. And that ability to not just say, well, we can't do that, but to evolve to say, yeah, we can do that. Here's how. And to keep working with that, honestly, is tremendous. It really is on many different levels. It really is that, that real capability to roll with the punches, I guess is a good phrase to use. Absolutely. I have no hesitation in my recommendation for any company to work with Insentra. You guys have been nothing but professional and nothing but on the ball whenever we've needed you. I've got to believe you do that for all your clients. I can't say that we are the special ones here. I really hope not anyway. But, it's absolutely, I would recommend. You guys have been, you've been on top of it. I can't say it in any other fashion or phrase than that.